hops in and gets through breading and frying you, you're gonna be so good it ought to be against the law to eat you. Now, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna get you granddaddy. The only reason he ain't been caught yet is because I ain't been after him. But I am now. And then, he's gonna join you at my dinner table tonight.
Strong box yours? Now, I know you can hear me. You couldn't have got that far away. You better come on out here and claim it right now. I'm going to open it.
How come he wouldn't claim it? Must be stolen. Boy, wait till Paul hears about this. Oh, this ain't gonna be easy to explain. None of it. Now, you ain't gonna believe this, Paul. Funniest thing happened to me today down at the fishing hole. Yeah, you're probably wondering where I got this box of gold, huh, Paul? Well, you see, there was this little green elf. Green elf?
We heard you shouting. What happened?
I was depositing the gold dust. Before I finished burying it, a bear got after me. Then a giant ran down and chased the bear away.
A giant?
Biggest man I ever saw in my life. And he found a strong box and walked off with it. That's what happened. Honest. Ah, you don't believe me.
weren't going to believe me.
Well, it doesn't make sense, Hoss. Look, if he was as little as you say he was, now how can he go around lugging a strong box full of gold? This thing is a load for any one of us.
Let's look at it this way. If there is a little man running around...
If, Paul. If is all I've been hearing. There ain't no if to it, Paul. I seen him with my own 2 eyeballs. A little man no bigger than that. I seen him.
Right. A little man in a green suit that buried a strong box full of gold dust and then skips away into the bushes where, with a merry twinkle in his eye, he thumbs his nose and flies away to the rainbow.
I've had all I'm going to take out of you, Adam. Paul, how come nobody will believe me? I'm just telling you exactly what I seen, and if it sounds sort of crazy or something, well, it ain't my fault.
Of course it isn't. Look, what he says must make some sense because there it is. It's a strong box. It's real. It contains thousands of dollars worth of gold. Must have come from somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, and I imagine somebody's pretty anxious to get it back.
Well, we can stand around here talking about it all night. Tell you what, tomorrow morning we'll ride in and see Sheriff Coffey and tell him the whole story, and maybe he can help us.
You're not going to let him tell that story in town.
Oh, no, Papa, you can't do that. They're going to laugh at us. They're going to think he's loony.
But we're going to try to get to the bottom of this. Now, Hoss will tell Sheriff Coffey the whole thing, exactly the way he saw it.
green fellers, Paul, just like the one I saw out in the woods. That little old horse is nothing bigger than good-sized hound dog.
Oh, he's really hurt himself this time.
Paul, I gotta catch him, little rascal.
Of course you'll catch him. You'll catch him.
Well, we could if we'd hurry.
All right, just calm down. Adam, little Joe, go outside and look around.
What are we going to look around for, Pa? I got to have something to look around.
You heard what he said. We look for little green men riding on hound dogs. Now, I'll go out and check around the house, and you look for a butterfly net just in case.
Right. Butterfly net. What?
Oh, you got a good lump coming up here. Come. I'd better get something to put on it.
Hey, Paul, look.
Somebody broke into the bookcase. Strong box, it's gone.
That's what I was afraid they'd do. Hey, who? The little green men, Paul, the little green men. Now what am I going to tell the sheriff? The only part of my story you believe in the first place is the part about the gold, and only then because I had that box to prove it. Now what am I going to tell him?
Well, you tell him the truth.
And you say that Adam and little Joe couldn't find a trail, huh?
Well, it was, of course, it was dark, and they had a pretty good head start on the boys.
Look, Roy, you see, these little fellers, they got a way about themselves. They just disappearing in thin air.
Well, now, maybe them little fellers' little horses was flying horses, and that's why you couldn't find the
Now,
trail.
look, Roy, we came here to report a robbery. If you're not going to take us serious, we'll go home. That's all.
Hold on! If anybody but Ben Cartwright come in here with a story like that, why, what do you want me to do, Ben?
The gold. Just see that it's recovered, that's all.
Look, religiously, I go through everything that comes into this office. And there's been no bank robberies, no stagecoach holdups, no gold shipments missing anywhere. So why in the dickens should I go out there hunting for something that ain't even been reported missing?
But, Roy, that's just the point. We're reporting it missing.
Well, you can't claim something stolen that don't even belong to you.
Well, wait a minute, Roy. Somebody broke into my house. Somebody broke into my bookcase. Now, surely that's enough for you to go on.
I'm just not going to close up this office and go out there looking for a gang of little... Now, what would the folks of this town think if I was to try to organize a posse for the purpose of tracking down a bunch of little men with green suits? Why, they'd hog-tie me and lock me up in my own jail cell till election time. Well, gentlemen, I got places to go. I got to meet the stagecoach.
He didn't believe a word of it, did he?
Well, it's not a question of believing, son. It's...
Don't make no never mind, Paul. If somebody came to me with a story like that, I'd be at least interested in it enough to look into it.
Yeah. Well, listen, while I'm in town, I think I'd better go and pay that grain bill.
I think I'll go to the saloon and get me a beer.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. And I'll pick you up there as soon as I'm ready to go.
Charlie, stage on time today?
Ahead of time. Done come and win.
Yeah. Anybody get off?
Or just one feller. You looking for somebody in particular, Roy?
No, I was just keeping tabs on the goings and comings. Where does fella go?
Oh, yonder to saloon.
Yeah, much obliged.
Well, like I said before, he's right down the street.
Hmm?
You saved yourself a trip. Here he is now.
Oh, well, pleasure to meet you, sir. McCarthy's the name. Professor James Aloysius McCarthy. I assume that you're the bulwark of local law enforcement?
I'm the sheriff, if that's what you're talking about.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I think perhaps maybe you can help me. I was wondering if you'd noticed any strangers passing through this fair city of yours of late.
No, there hasn't been a stranger in this town in a month of Sundays.
Oh.
Unless, of course, they was little men with green suits.
Little men in green suits?
How about that, Hoss? More like little thieves in green suits. Hoss here claims that they run off with a strong box full of gold.
Gold? Hoss, did you fellas make a strike?
Hold on now, you fellas. You'll have this whole town in a stampede. I didn't say nothing about a gold strike. I was just repeating a crazy yarn of Hoss's.
It wasn't no crazy yarn, Roy.
Little men in green suits? Hoss, you must have got a hold of some bad whiskey. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Just a minute, gentlemen. Now, please. It's a very charming story, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about it, if I may. Why don't we all refresh ourselves while we talk about it? The drinks are on me, gentlemen.
Hey.
Won't you step up here, sir? Bartender, a couple of drinks here, please.
Hoss ought to give an eye to see out there fumbling around after them little green men you dreamed up.
That burn it, Roy. I didn't dream them up. I seen them.
Of course you now, gentlemen, please. What's the matter? In my country, it's very bad luck to laugh at the little people.
Where do you come from?
Ireland.
Oh, excuse me, Professor McCarthy. This is Hoss Cartwright.
Oh, Mr. Cartwright, it's a great pleasure and an honor to meet such a fortunate man.
Yeah?
Well, only once in a lifetime, and maybe not even then, is a man privileged to meet another man who has actually seen a leprechaun.
A what?
Oh, yes, well, of course you wouldn't know about those, would you? Well, they're a darling little bunch of rascals, all dressed in their green suits.
But are you sure these little fellers I seen are...
Leprechauns? Of course I am. Everything fits. Now, it's a very well-known fact that every colony of leprechauns has a buried treasure of gold. But to a leprechaun, freedom is much more precious than all the gold in the world. That's why, if you had caught one, he would have bought his release just like that by giving you all of his gold.
I ain't for sure I understand exactly what you're trying to tell me.
Oh, it's quite simple. Had you actually caught one of these little fellows, he would have given you all of his gold and it would have been yours to keep. But since you didn't, well, it was perfectly all right for him to come after you and reclaim his treasure.
Well, I never heard anything like that.
Oh, well, that's a very commonplace thing in Ireland. It happens all the time. Although I must say this is the very first instance I've ever heard of it happening in this country.
Hoss, this fella's pulling our legs.
Wouldn't be too sure of that, Roy. You thought I was, but I seen them.
Of course you did. And had you caught one of them, 'tis a far richer man you'd be today.
Yeah, that was quite a pile of gold at that.
Hoss, you figure them little fellas still running around loose out there?
I reckon so. I reckon there's any way of knowing. Hey, where you going?
I think I know where he's going.
Hey! Wait a minute! Hey! Hey, what's going on around here? Wait a minute! Hoss! You come back here now. What's going on here?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run into you. Oh, I gotta hurry.
Wait a minute! Where do you gotta hurry to?
Oh, I gotta go keep them claim jumpers from getting their gold.
Of course we do. Of course we do.
Oh, I gotta hurry.
I know you gotta hurry, but let's hurry very slowly, shall we? Let's be calm. Just become with all the Hoss! Let's go inside and get out of this hot sun.
Oh, I gotta get up the range.
Instead of like having me, Mr. McCarthy, this is Hoss's fault.
Oh, himself, is it? Well, 'tis a proud father you should be this day, sir.
Hey, Paul, this gentleman knows everything there is to know about them leprechauns. I'm gonna get a horse.
Hoss! 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 Will somebody tell me what's going on around here?
I just don't believe it.
Here, leprechaun.
Leprechaun, leprechaun, leprechaun. Leprechaun.
Those people taking leave of their senses?
Want me to run them out, Ben? You got a legal right to run them off your land.
Oh, no, that just cause hard feelings. Oh, let them go. Maybe when they've worn themselves out, they'll come to their senses and see how foolish this whole thing is.
Or they'd find one of those leprechauns and prove to you I ain't been lying.
Oh, so many times do I have to tell you? There's no such thing as a leprechaun. They ain't gonna find any leprechauns. A leprechaun is a mythical creature, like in a storybook, like pixies and elves. What?
Excuse me, Mr. Cartwright, but if those weren't leprechauns your son saw strolling around, exactly what were they?
Well, now, I don't know what they were. But if there are a lot of little men running around there, the more hunters we have looking for them, the quicker we'll find them. And the sooner we get this cleared up, the better for all of us.
Right. If that's the way you feel about it, I suppose you won't mind if I take a little look around myself, will you?
No, not at all, Professor. Look around all you want to.
I believe I'll poke around a little too, if it's all right with you, Ben.
Why not? Good hunting.
Leprechaun.
Oh, what about me? I'd sort of...
Now, look, Hoss. Maybe them people down there have all that time to waste. Looking for gold. But we got work to do, so let's go back and do it.
Paul, wait. It ain't the gold. It's them little men, Paul. I gotta find them if they're down there. I got to prove to you and them other people that I ain't lying, and to prove to myself I ain't crazy. Paul, it's very important to me.
All right, Hoss. Get it out of your system. But on one condition. After all this is over, and you don't find anybody, we won't ever mention it again. Ever. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Leprechauns. Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. Sounds like he's coming right over there.
Leprechaun. Leprechaun. Ah! Hoss, you dang near scared the dickens out of me.
Charlie, look, if you're going to catch one of them little boogers, you're going to have to pay more attention to what you're doing and quit running around so dang much.
Hoss, there's one in back there.
Charlie! That's Roy and the professor.
What are you trying to do with that thing? You're going to hurt somebody with that.
Excuse me, Sheriff. I reckon I'm a mite jumpy with all the excitement.
Well, now tell me, has anyone seen anything yet?
Nary a sign. Most of them done give up and went home. And they're might peeved at you, Hoss. They figure that you made up the whole story all along.
Well, I tell you what, gentlemen, why don't we give it up for the day? I'm so tired I can't stir another step.
Well, there's still about an hour of sunshine left. I reckon I'll stick with it a while. Now, y'all holler if you see anything.
Ooh. Ooh.
I got me one, Charlie. I got me one.
You lop-eared jackass, it's me that you got.
Well, I better be getting back to town. You want to come with me, Professor?
Do I? Of course I want to come with you. Come on.
Coming, Hoss?
No, thank you, Roy. I think I'll mosey around out here for a spell more. Ain't nobody searched out that little creek bottom yet.
You know, I feel kind of guilty tramping around out here. Sure hope it's peaceful back in town.
Oh, now, don't you worry, Sheriff. After all, you were only doing your duty, weren't you? Seeing to that the mob didn't get out of hand, that things were kept orderly, hmm?
You get the greatest talent for explaining things. It makes them come out sounding just right.
Well, it's all in the way a man looks at things, I always say. Hmm?
Yeah, I reckon so. Did you see something?
No, I just thought I did. Just a rabbit, perhaps. Just thinking, though, you know, it seems such a shame, you know, such a terrible pity for me to be going off and leaving poor Mr. Hoss here, when, after all, it was myself here that instigated this hunt. No, I think I'd better stay here with him, because if I don't, my conscience will never give me one moment's rest.
Oh, well, you suit yourself about that, but I better be getting back. You sure you can find your way?
Oh, of course, of course. Look, we McCarthys were born with an uncanny sense of direction.
I'll see you in town then.
To be sure, to be sure. All right, now, lads, you can come out. Well, come on out. I know you're here. Come on out, lads. You've led me in a merry chase up to now. Your old friend, but it's all over, so come on out.
Good work, men. Michael, you and Bobby go get the wagon and meet us at the camp. Sean, you find a good tall tree and keep a lookout. Artie, you help me tie him up.
Well, it's the first time I ever knew Hoss to miss a meal.
Yeah. Should have been home by now.
You want me to go out and take a look for him?
That's a good idea.
This, Professor McCarthy, just what is he a professor of?
Adam, I don't know the slightest thing about him. But I have a strong suspicion that he's tied up with this whole thing in some way.
Don't you run away.
Oh, I won't. Pa sent me to bring you home to supper.
Burn it. Dad, burn your ornery hide, little brother. Wait till I get my hand. Oh, you. Burn it. I reckon you think that's pretty funny, huh?
Don't hit me. Peekaboo.
Yeah, burn your ornery hide.
I can't stand it.
Hey, Joe, you see him, don't you? You see him, don't you, Joe?
Yeah.
Wait till Adam sees him. I can't wait to see him smashing on his face. We got him. We got him.
Hey, wait a minute. You ain't got him yet. He's on those little branches out there. They're not gonna hold our kind of weight.
Yeah. How we gonna get him down? Hey, I'll shake the tree.
Hey,
I'll shake
no, don't do that. You're gonna kill him. Look how little he is.
Hey up there. You savvy English?
Woo-hoo-wee.
I don't reckon he does. I don't understand none of that leprechaun neither. How we gonna get him down?
I don't know. Listen, I'm gonna go get Pa and Adam, and I'll bring him here. You keep an eye on him.
Good idea. Hurry.
Hey, now keep an eye on him. Don't let him out of your sight. Hey, you keep one.
Yeah, ain't that cute? Look at him. I told you, didn't I? I told you.
I think I have a systematic schedule here that'll let us replace the whole 56 miles of fence over the next few years without having to... Well, what's wrong?
Look, You go out and saddle a couple of horses, and I'll fill some lanterns, and I'll just feel better going out looking for those two.
I know, Hoss. I think you're right.
Hey, Paul, Adam! Adam, Paul, where are you? Hey, Paul, Adam! Paul! Oh, we got one. We got one. We got one up a tree. One of those little men. One of those little men. Now, I know what you think, but I saw him with my own eyes, Adam. I saw him. Horse has got him back up there, and he's keeping him for us. Now, come on. He's up in a tree in this clearing.
Well, this had better be good.
All right, Adam. See for yourself.
See what?
Oh, I'm telling you, those little men is coming at me from every direction. It's coming out of the trees, out of the bushes, up out of the ground. I never fall. This place is crawling with them little green men. It's coming at me from up, down, sideways, everywhere, Paul. You ain't never seen nothing like it.
I saw one of them, Pa.
Where's Professor McCarthy?
Oh, he rode back to town to Roy Coffee.
Well, he couldn't have. We just saw his horse tied up down there.
Hey, there's something mighty funny going on around here.
I knew it would come to him sooner or later. You just have to give him time, you know.
Will you two fellas go and see if you can find the professor?
Hey, Professor! McCarthy! Professor? Professor? Hey, Joe! Pa! Hoss! Come on here, I got something!
Hey, ain't that the professor's hat and cane?
Yeah, they couldn't be our horses. We left them tied back there.
Sounds like it came from that draw over there.
Maybe we can surprise whoever's in there. Pin him in.
What'd I tell you, Paul? See, little green men, just like I told you. Adam, you smart aleck. Now what do you say? See him?
I saw one of them do.
I don't believe it.
Now we know where the gold dust came from.
to, Paul?
Well, they're starting to break up camp. We gotta stop them. Now, spread out. Now, wait till I give my signal.
We have to hurry. Leave the rest of the tools and let's get the gold.
All right, boys, let's get him.
Okay, we give up.
Don't you trust him, Paul. You must tie him up.
Well, I don't think that'll be necessary, gentlemen. I'll take over from here. Ah, Timothy, how are you?
Hello, McCarthy.
You can't explain what this is about?
Why, I'd be delighted to. Gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you McCarthy's Leprechauns. They sing, they dance, and as you've seen, they're daring and accomplished acrobats. They have performed before all the crowned heads of Europe. They're the toast of 2 continents.
You're performers? You're in a show?
Oh, and I must apologize for the lads' behavior just a few minutes ago. They were, well, a little annoyed because they thought that you were going to steal their gold again.
Now, just a dang minute.
Just a minute now. What was the point of filling everybody's heads with all those wild stories about leprechauns and buried treasure?
I was merely trying to help the lads. After all, I didn't know that they'd come by the gold legally. The last time I had seen them was in Kansas, where our show was disbanded because of financial difficulties.
Yeah, and you cheated us out of all our savings, the money we were going to buy the farm with. And our families are still back east waiting for us to send for them. That's why we began panning for gold. We were broke.
Oh, come on, Timothy. After all, everything has turned out fine, hasn't it? And with the gold from our little... your little enterprise here, we can fashion the most magnificent show this world has ever seen. And think of it, lads. Just think of it. You're going to be the stars.
Now, hold on there, McCarthy. There's something I think you ought to know. You're on Ponderosa land.
I don't think I quite understand.
Well, let me explain. You see, the gold that your little friends here have been panning, they panned on our land. So the gold isn't theirs or yours.
We didn't know that. Honest, we didn't. We thought it was open land.
Well, now this is a different complexion of things altogether. Yes, well, we'll have to attack this problem from another angle, I can see. Gentlemen? All right now, lads. Since we've got the gold, let's be off.
No, McCarthy. We won't steal for you. The gold belongs to these people, not us.
Come on now, Timothy. After all, you've only got one of 2 choices. A simple little bit of larceny or bloodshed. And I imagine that you'll choose the former, eh? Good. I thought you'd see it my way. Gentlemen, would you step over here, please? Good, thank you. Thank you for your hospitality, gentlemen. Thank you. Now it is with a great deal of sorrow that I bid you.
I'm sorry, McCarthy. Don't be too hard on him, mister.
Bring him along.
Well, Mr. McCarthy, you can thank the Cartwrights here for not bringing charges against you. And once you're on that stagecoach, I want that to be the last time the Virginia City ever sees you.
The old refrain, eh, lads? Mr. Haas, I understand congratulations are in order, huh? All the gold goes to you, I'm told. As the old saying has it, them that has gets.
Well, I'm afraid not this time, Mr. McCarthy. We figured on giving the gold back to these fellers.
You what?
Yeah, we figured that they got more of a right to it than we have.
Well, I'd like to hear how you decided that.
Well, Roy, where'd that gold come from in the first place? Up in the high mountains, right? Now, they ain't on the Ponderosa. I figure if these fellers hadn't panned that gold out, it'd have gone right on out to sea and nobody'd have benefited from it.
But they were standing on your land while I was doing the panning.
That don't make no difference, Roy. That gold never did belong to the Ponderosa in the first place. I figure it was just sort of passing through.
What a charming idea.
Hoss, by all legal rights.
Roy, I think what Hoss is trying to say is that regardless of who has a right to the gold, he feels that the gold should go to where there's the most need for it. And this way, that gold will help 5 new families get started on a new life.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
The only thing I wanted to do in the first place was just prove that I didn't dream you little fellers up.
I don't suppose that you gentlemen would like to come along with me, eh?
No, Professor, I'm sorry. We just don't want to be performers.
I didn't suppose you would.
We just don't like being laughed at all the time.
Laughed at? Well, now, listen to me, lads, listen. None of us in the show ever laughed at you. But those people outside there, they'll laugh at you. Oh, it's a very beautiful dream you have, settling down with your loved ones, farming your own land, leading normal lives. The only question is, will they let you?
Stagecoach is here, Mr. McCarthy. Let's go.
All right.
Howdy, folks. Excuse me, please.
There they are.
What are they?
They're the funniest little critters I ever did see.
Maybe the professor's right. Maybe we shouldn't try to live out among other people. Maybe we just don't belong.
Now, wait a minute. Just hold your horses a minute. Don't you go selling those folks short out there. Don't you see, you're making the same mistake they're making. You're judging them before you even know them. Now, come on. You're going to go out there and meet these folks right now. Come on. Folks, I'd like for all of you to move down here. I got something I want to say to you. It concerns every one of you, and I want you to hear it. Come on now. Folks, I know that because all of you turned out and are raising such a ruckus over our newcomers, that you're just chomping at the bits to meet them, ain't you?
Hey, Hoss, be careful you don't step on one of them little fellers. You might squash him.
Charlie.
You be careful you don't get stepped on a little bit. Now, folks, I know that none of you would purposely or mean to hurt anybody's feelings. But Timothy here and the others feel like that they ain't welcome here. They think you're making fun of them because you don't want them around. Of course, you've noticed that they're different from you. They're a whole lot littler. Well, there's a funny thing. You see, I noticed the same thing about you. Now, these fellas are here for the same reason most of us are. That's to help settle our town, make it grow. Raise their families. They're planning on building their homes here, working their crops, being good neighbors. Now, in the past, we've always welcomed folks like that. And I don't see no reason we should treat these fellas any different. You, Mr. Lucas, you're the banker. You ought to be happy to see new investors in the town. Their money is just as big as mine. And you, Darrell Gillespie, it ought to tickle you to death to find prospective buyers for that bottom land you've been trying to sell. And that ain't all. They're gonna need tools to work that land with and to build their homes. We got 5 brand new families here in Virginia City. It's gonna raise their young'uns. They're gonna buy clothes and buy food and get haircuts and get their teeth fixed, buying seeds and supporting the church. I figure every one of us is gonna benefit from their being here. I think we ought to give them a great, big, rousing Virginia City welcome.
We wasn't making any more fun of them than we do of you for being so big.
Dorsal's right, Hoss. I reckon they're as welcome here as any of us. Probably more welcome than some of us.
Must be something in the air.
Yep. Something real nice.
We're going to have a toast to our little friend.
Wait! Don't forget our friend Hoss.
Hey, fellers, wait a minute, fellers.
There ain't enough of us, Hoss. Come along on your own power.